cultural destruction. Have you ever wondered why the communist does it? Because he does it everywhere. Why the cultural destruction? In the Soviet Union, it was churches, statues. They would rename the city streets. That's after the communists took over. When Mao's communists took over in China, they would do things that almost didn't even make any sense. They would go to old graves, old tombstone, Confucius, thousands of years old, world renowned, and they would tear up the graves and the grave sites, would tear down the Buddhist temples, tear down the statues. It doesn't even make any sense. Why would they do such a thing? What is the goal? Well, I want you to think about your home, all right? Because I write about this in the Anti-Communist Manifesto. I want you to think about your home. Why do you love your home? What is it you actually love about it? Have the bricks and paint been nice to you? No, you don't. That's not what it is. Your home is special to you because of the memories in your home. When you look at your fireplace, man, that's where you had a glass of wine with your wife one night, had a lovely evening. When you look over at this corner, that's where you watch the kids gather around the Christmas tree, open up gifts. When you look at your kitchen, you either cook there, or you eat there, or you've had wonderful times there with your family, wife, husband, eating. It's wonderful. You still tell jokes about the time you burnt dinner and the smoke alarm went off. Your walls. Why do you care about your walls? Well, those are Grandpa's World War II medals that hang on the walls. All these things, these memories of your home, these things that are in it, they give your home meaning to you. So what if I was a communist and I wanted your home burnt to the ground? Because I want you out of that home. I want you to come live in the home I've made for you. You're going to be resistant to me burning your home to the ground. If I showed up at your door, hey, let me in there. I got matches and a can of gas. I'm going to burn this place down. You'd say, no, get lost. I'm calling the cops. You pull a gun on me. But what if I could find a way to get inside of your home and just kind of start removing those things that make your home your home? Oh, that fireplace, asbestos. We got to get rid of the fireplace, sorry. Ooh, Grandpa's old medals. You know what? I found a letter from your grandpa. He was a racist. He was a horrible racist. Let's get those off the wall. You're not a racist, are you? Let's get those things off the wall. It's terrible. And I would sit there and I strip you of the things that bind you to your home. And once I've done that, not only will you let me burn your home down, you might help me do it. By the time I'm done, you don't have any connection to that home. It's just brick and mortar. It means nothing to you. Cultural destruction is intentional. It's what the communist does. Here's a little excerpt from my book, Chapter 3. The arrival of the communists is heralded by a simple word, destruction. Destroying monuments to the past and present and perverting history is his way of making sure you hate yourself and your country enough to just let him destroy it. It's not just a tactic he uses in his quest for power. It is the base tenet of his sick religion. Now think about what's been happening in your country for a while now. Statues of Washington coming down, Columbus coming down, statues all over the country coming down, paintings being taken down from the walls of Congress. But why? What is his purpose? It doesn't make any sense. Why take down a statue? Well, if America becomes some meaningless blob of nothing to you, with no history, nothing you can be proud of, nothing you can even really see, then you will be much more willing to allow the communists to build a new America for you. And the bad part of this is the people who are supposed to be fighting for us, the people who are supposed to recognize these things and stand up for us, those are the people who go along with the communists thinking if we just let them change a couple military base names, then it'll all go away, like this loser James Langford in Oklahoma.
We are also seeing now efforts to rename military bases across the country. The Senate Armed Services Committee voted on that. This week we've seen leading voices like General David Petraeus saying it's time to stop having military bases named after Confederate generals like Braxton Bragg. Is it time?
I do, actually. And I think the right way to be able to do this is to be able to have a study, to be able to look at where the name come from, what do we need to have to be able to take a serious look at it, and then to be able to transition. There are lots of great leaders, military leaders that are around the country that are modern leaders that we can continue to be able to honor.
Oh, they went for the easy targets. Sissies like James Langford and the Confederate military base names. You certainly don't want to be called a racist, right? I don't believe in slavery. And that was the foot in the door. Ultimate low-T GOP move. Well, I mean, yeah, we're certainly not racist. I'm Mr. Black People. Yep, change the name of these things without recognizing it's a tactic. Of course, they started with the Confederacy. And before you knew it, George Washington came tumbling down. It had nothing to do with the Confederacy. It had everything to do with destroying your history, which brings us to the street communists. Because Nancy Pelosi's not going to go down there and pull down a sign or yank down a painting personally. They would never get involved in that icky business. You need foot soldiers for that. And they have them. Antifa and Black Lives Matter are two of the main street animal groups the communists use in this country. Here's another excerpt from my book. Quote, both BLM and Antifa are explicitly communist. They are the Red Guards of the American Communist Movement, the foot soldiers of the revolution. The language they speak is violence and destruction. The battlefield on which they fight is the streets of your city or hometown. Their goal is no different than that of their comrades in past generations, to destroy everything before them and replace it with their own chaotic hellhole. Do I need to remind you of the Black Lives Matter handiwork in Minneapolis?
How was last night?
Scary. I live in the high-rise right back here, and I seen them as they came down Lake Street. But then they turned and started coming over here, and I'm sitting out looking out my window. And they went straight to Office Max, the dollar store, and every store over here that I go to. I have nowhere to go now. I have no way to get there because the buses aren't running. These people did this for no reason. It's not going to bring George back here. George is in a better place than we are. And last night, I'm going to be honest, I wish I was where George was because this is ridiculous. These people are tearing up our livelihood.
Awful, isn't it? But she was wrong about something. These people are doing it for no reason. Oh, they're doing it for a reason. They have a purpose. Don't think that all this destruction is just meaningless violence. There's a purpose to it. And we haven't been able to be true anti-communists yet because half the people on our side are still marching with them.
Hey, Senator, why is it important for you to be out here today?
We need a voice against racism. We need many voices against racism and against brutality. We need to stand up and say that Black Lives Matter.
Ugh.
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, the history of FBI scandals, and America's worst presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.